This is Dr. Chris's Radio Horror Program, 91.3 FM, WCUW in Worcester, Massachusetts, during the quarantine 2020. So we're here in the Radio Horror Studios doing this recorded interview, so do not call in. But if you're missing it on broadcasting, you can check it out on the YouTube channel. We have the lead actress from the new horror movie coming out, Getaway. We have Jaclyn Betham on the show with us. Thank you for coming on the show with us, Jaclyn.
Of course. How are you?
Good. Tamara Miller has planned a weekend lake getaway. Get it? Haha! With her lifelong two friends. It took a lot to write that summary, but I digress. With her two friends, when she gets kidnapped by a backwoods cult, eerie and unexplained occurrences arise. Will she make it out? Dun dun dun. Also starring Scout Taylor Compton from the Halloween movies, Laura Albright, Lane Torren, and several others. So have you been in a lot of backwards situations that you had to encounter cults of any kind? And have you ever been part of a cult yourself?
Oh my gosh, I've never been part of a cult.
Except for the Hollywood cult, right? Get it?
Instead
because Hollywood's
of the
a cult.
entertainment industry. No, but I actually was living in North Carolina when I wrote this with my partner, and I had grown up very religious, and so throughout my whole life I had seen the hypocrisy and how people would take scripture and dilute it and change it around to fit their ulterior motives. And so when I was in North Carolina, I kind of was seeing that, and I was like, that could be an interesting way of like a cultish group that wanted to, make it okay to treat women or murder women or do things to women that weren't just. So that's kind of where the idea folded, and I wanted to do like a very woman empowered film and play a different character that I had ever played. So that's kind of where Getaway was created.
What type of situations do your characters get in this movie that are very cult-like, and things that happen to women that are not very PC, let's just say?
I think I get taken firstly, or Tamara gets taken in the movie.
Are you a very physical actor?
Well, because I grew up dancing, I got into a ballet company when I was 15 years old, and that was just like my life growing up. I love physicality, and I love, especially when I do comedy, like physical comedy is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we decided to do this horror film, I really wanted to be able to do all my stunts and be able to do everything myself. And so when I was writing some of the scenes, I was like, I really want to emphasize, the fight scene on this, or when she's getting taken, I told everyone, like, really grab me, because I hate when it doesn't look real.
Oh, you mean like they're like, oh no, you're so delicate, you're so small. Did I hurt you? Whatever. And they're like being very gentle, and it just looks like crap.
Yeah.
I've experienced that with actresses that either I've filmed with, or like a couple co-hosts of mine for podcasts I do are insanely physical actresses, where they want to be like thrown to the ground. They want to be as close as you can come to a slap or a stab or whatever with a fake knife or something like that as you possibly can. And really, because they're so tiny, just throw them, into something. Like, I had an actress who said that she was all for having like the massive amount of padding and harnesses on. They put a coat over her because otherwise it just kind of looks ridiculous after a while. But she wanted to be thrown and tossed and pulled and really beaten up in a scene. Or she doesn't like movies where she's falling in love and being romantic. She wants to have her clothes ripped off and be killed or whatever, because she enjoys that more, the intensity of it, than sitting there lying naked with somebody in bed and falling in love and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a tiny girl. I'm 5'9", so I feel like they had to be physical with me too, or else it wouldn't look real.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, that makes complete sense.
But
no, at 5'9", you definitely should not be 90 pounds. You would be a stick figure.
I would be a feather.
Yeah. When you were a dancer, maybe it's a little bit different, but no, not now.
Not now. So yeah, I think just having the physicality in it was really important, especially for Tamara's character. She's kind of, a badass. And so I think if she didn't have that dynamic physicality as part a part of her, then it wouldn't have resonated as well.
Okay, so there's two films I found for this film, by the way. There was Getaway and Getaway Girls. What's the difference? What's the story behind that? Because they also have two different posters, but there's only a few news sites that I saw using Getaway Girls. What's the story with that?
So Getaway Girls is the original name for it.
So like Revenge of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, so it's all the same movie. When we signed with Uncorked, they wanted to switch the name to Getaway, and just drop the girls. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, that's not that big of a change, so it didn't really bother me. And so we just switched it to Getaway. I mean, it always will be Getaway Girls in my heart, but yeah, no, it's just Getaway. Just one word.
You'd also worked on several television series like NCIS. You've been on Dolly Parton and 90210. What was it that wanted you to become an actress and then switch over to being a writer? Because this is your first, I guess, Hollywood writing gig. I guess I don't want to call it Hollywood because it is independent filming, and Hollywood's a separate machine.
Definitely. I had been the victim a lot, and I was on a TV show for the Haves and Have-Nots, and then even NCIS I was the victim. I just wanted to do something different, and I wanted to be a more empowered, strong woman. I am tall, and I just hadn't had those opportunities yet, and so I also just hadn't been auditioning for certain roles, and so I wanted to just come up with my own idea and be able to make the film and create my own content and just play a character that I really wanted to play instead of waiting for someone else to write something and give me a job and to play that role that I'd been wanting to do. And so I also love writing. This wasn't my first script I had written, and so I just wanted to take my writing and actually create it. And just like you said, like, indie film is so different because it's not in the machine of studios. And so I also wanted to write something that we could make and complete and be able to get seen and shown. So that's kind of how Getaway was created as well, is just being able to write something that we could shoot that wasn't like $160 million budget. That wasn't the Return of the Jedi.
Did you know that there was a comic book and, of course, there was a god-awful movie called The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that where they get the League of Extraordinary Dancers from?
Actually don't know if that's where John Chu came up with the idea. I mean, possibly. I actually never asked that.
Could be. I mean, you don't hear that a lot. The League of Extraordinary blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And a lot of people usually think of Alan Moore's comic book. I just happened to notice that. I was just like, wait, was she in the League of Extraordinary? Oh, wait, dancers? No?
Dancers.
Yeah,
so
no, I wouldn't have watched that.
Who was the director of Crazy Rich Asians? He's done so many movies, but he's an incredible director, and that was one of my first jobs I actually ever did, and it was a Paramount web series. And I got to work with him, and he was awesome. So talented.
Is this you on the cover holding the knife behind your back? The poster? The poster?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? They don't show your face, so it's just like a camera tilt, kind of. But, I mean, you're wearing almost the same.
Yeah, it's like the side of my face.
Right. It's just like, why did they put her name? What's with the shot? I mean, your butt looks perfectly fine, but come on.
I didn't do it, so don't ask me. You're asking the wrong person.
But wait, isn't are you friends with is that the marketing company behind the movie? Is that who we should complain to?
Sure, yeah. If you want to write a complaint, it's not to me.
I thought that was funny. I was just like, I guess that's where did you end up filming it?
We filmed in North Carolina.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good state for creepy atmosphere, especially if it's a film that needs that type of weather.
Yeah, exactly. And it was so beautiful, and the fall weather the colors in the trees and everything when we did like overhead shots and aerial shots. It was just so beautiful. It just helped so much with the cinematography and just the look of the film. You just can't, I mean, it wouldn't look like that if we shot in LA, that's for sure.
In real life, what is something you are 100% afraid of?
Afraid of?
Yes.
Oh, God. Probably, I'm really street smart because I grew up like in Long Beach and I've always lived in big cities. So I'm not really scared of anything like that. I'm probably more scared of like getting bit by a very poisonous spider or like a staph infection from getting my nails done in a beauty salon. Like something just like that I couldn't control like that. I think like that's terrifying. I don't think I'm scared of like I'm easily scared if someone like jumps out and like tries to scare me, I'll probably scream, but I'm not necessarily scared. It's just like reactionary.
Are you a big convention goer? Have you done any conventions? Or is this the movie that you're hoping to start doing maybe some horror conventions at if we ever get back to doing conventions?
Oh my gosh, can you believe this? I know it's crazy. I've gone to conventions not as an actor,
But
I've
as a
gone
fan.
to conventions. Yeah.
So you're a fan yourself. What's something that you're a big geeky fan of? What makes you a geek girl?
What do I geek out at? I think I mean I like freaked out with like Game of Thrones when I was at a convention and I got to meet I can't think of his name right now. The one that plays Aquaman.
Oh, Jason Momoa.
I got to meet him. He was so nice and a lot of them were there. And they were just all really, really great. I got to meet them like backstage and they were really cool.
Did you have a fangirl moment where you were just like, oh my God?
I've never like had that with an actor. It was just like exciting to meet them.
I think I did that with Cassandra Peterson. If you know who she is, she's best known as Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and James Marsters, who you might have seen recently on the Marvel television series Runaways, but he's best known for playing Spike the Vampire on Buffy and Angel.
Oh, yeah.
Totally. Him? Absolutely.
100.
Yeah, just 100%. Just, one bro to another, I was just like, oh my God, it's Spike.
Yeah.
Or his confidant, Drusilla on the show, played by Julia Landau. She came on my show 10 years ago and is supposed to come back on again. I'm hoping that can happen now that we're on quarantine. So there's not a lot for her to do. But I met her at a convention. She remembered coming on my show, and she pulled me in for a photo, and she opens her mouth, baring her teeth against my neck, as like she would if she was a vampire. That was like 11 years ago or something like that. When you could do this nowadays, it's all so it's gonna be nobody's gonna take a picture hugging a fan anymore after what just happened.
It's gonna be weird to get back to like normal. I feel like human touch is gonna be very sparse for a long time.
Right. And I've met other celebrities and they've been on the show, but yeah, that there's a couple that definitely stand out for me. Okay, so Jaclyn, the last thing just before we let you go is that at the very bottom of your IMDb page, you were on America's Most Wanted, and it came to mind that I'm wondering, somebody as incredibly beautiful as you, have you ever been hit on with the line of like, it's such a crime, you're so beautiful, that's why you're on America's Most Wanted? Has anyone done that cheesy pickup line to you?
No, you're the first.
Well, now I feel like a jerk butt.
You're just the most clever. That's all it is.
Thank you. But what was America's Most Wanted like, just in just a few words?
That was actually my first acting job that I ever booked. And it's kind of sad because you're actually playing like someone who legit got murdered and they're trying to find their killer. So it's kind of scary because you're like, oh, the murderer's still out there.
Right. I mean, John, the whole reason American Most Wanted was started is because of, and the reason why we have the code Adam is because of Adam Walsh. John Walsh's son was killed, and either the killer was never found or the body was never found.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Code Adam, with the alert, the Amber Alert for missing children, is based on John Walsh's actual son, who was who disappeared and was killed.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the cool thing is because, you're trying to catch the guy that killed this, like, poor innocent girl. So, I mean, everyone was really nice, and they are an incredible show to work for. But it's kind of like I was, like, so excited, but then I was like, oh, this is horrible at the same time. But hopefully they'll catch him and justice will be served.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show to talk about Getaway. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're staying safe with you and your family.
Thank you. You too.
Where can people find you online to tweet at you or Facebook message you if they want to give you praise about Getaway, which comes out in 2 weeks?
Yes. I'm on Instagram. I just started a TikTok, still trying to figure it out. It's
I don't
all
know
my
what that
Twitter.
is.
It's so, oh my God, there's so much information. It's so hard. But it's all the same handle, just my name at Jaclyn Betham, JACLYNBETHAM.
Thank you once again.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Stay safe.